Hi everyone, it's Shannon. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm so glad you're joining me here for this quick video. What I'm going to cover is talking about the size and the substance of your audience and why it does matter. So a lot of the time, not only in business, in a lot of different things, people talk about, does size matter? And in the case of your audience and growing your business, size definitely does matter. And I'm assuming because you're here today watching this, you're following me, you want to learn a little bit more or hopefully a whole lot more about how you can grow your business. And today, one way we're going to talk about that is talking about the size and the substance of your audience and how that correlates to more sales in your business. So I guess two parts to this. First is the size, and the second part is the substance. So when we are talking about the size of your audience, we're talking about exactly that. It's the quantity of people that are in your network, the quantity of people who are following you, and that's really the size. And it does matter how many people are following you. And I'll share a little bit of an example and kind of story tell to how to make this really relatable to you. So first part is size. The second part is the substance. So the substance really is the quality of the people that are following you. So you can have hundreds and thousands and millions of people following you, but if they're the wrong type of people, if the substance isn't there, then really what's the point in terms of them following you? We want to make sure if we are running a business and we do want it to be really successful, which I'm sure is your goal, your plan, that the substance of people, they are the right type of people. There's a quality to them. So, and not to disregard that they're bad quality people, it's just they're not the right type of people who could work with you. They're not the type of people that you could potentially help. So we want to make sure those two things, we keep in mind the size of your audience, and then second, the substance of your audience. So why is this really important? So basically, what it comes down to is that the size and the substance of your audience, it does equate to the number of sales that you'll make. So we want to make sure that if you are trying to grow an audience, it's the audience of the right size and of the right people so that you make the right amount of sales. So basically, if you kind of have a think about this, if you have 100 people in your audience and forever for the end of time, all you ever have is those same 100 people, what will happen is some of those people will buy from you and some of those people will never ever buy from you. And so what happens when you get to that point at the end of the road, out of those 100 people where the pocket of people have bought from you, and maybe they'll continue to be repeat buyers depending on what it is that you do. But then there's that other handful or that other pocket of people who will never buy from you. So all of a sudden, that 100 people starts to become redundant. So you always need to be thinking of, how can I grow my audience? How can I grow the size of them and fill it with the right type of people, that substance piece? So we do want to work out what's the best strategy for you in order to grow that size and substance of your audience. So I hope that really illustrates to you why it's important. And as a bonus, I'm going to give you a few tips in terms of how you can actually grow your audience even further. So if you have to think about how you've kind of grown your audience to date, the best way to grow it in future is to see how you have grown it in the past. So this could be connecting with people on LinkedIn, maybe sending some connection requests. Maybe it's publishing really, really good content that people are seeing to be really valuable and they want to keep showing up and keep getting more from you, and even tagging their friends in it because they know you are that go-to person for accounting, or you are that go-to person for personal training, whatever it is that you do. It could even be that you are creating videos that are really informative and helping someone. Maybe it is connecting with more people on Facebook, growing a Facebook group. Whatever it might be for you, have a think about how have you grown your existing audience today, and can you do more of that moving forward? The answer is probably yes, you can do more of that moving forward. And if you also think, well, maybe I'm growing my audience a little bit too slowly, it's not as quick as I might like, or maybe the substance of people, they're the wrong type of people in my following, in my audience, and I need to expand into more people or more of the right people, then you'll need to have a think about what are some new avenues that you can grow your audience and grow it with the right people. So if you want to grow it with the right people, what I would do, if you haven't done already, is really get to know who your ideal client is. So if you ever do an ideal client exercise, you're thinking of, or you should be thinking about their demographics, their psychographics, their fears, their desires. So those 4 things, demographics, psychographics, fears, and desires, is what will help you to really understand who that person is that you can start to continue to attract, or hopefully attract more of them. So once you have figured out that substantive person, really figured out who that ideal client is, you should hopefully be able to pinpoint where that person starts to hang out. So maybe they're listening to podcasts in the in their car. Maybe they are watching YouTube videos. Maybe they are in Facebook groups or certain Facebook groups, or they're on Instagram. Once you figure out where that ideal client does hang out, then you can probably guess where you need to start hanging out, and that is in front of that person. So when you are showing up in front of that right person, delivering them the content, and that is a whole nother story, delivering the right content in front of the right person, then you will start to be able to grow that size of your audience. So already you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're growing the size of your audience, and you're filling the substance with the right people. So I hope you keep this in mind when it comes to growing your business. Think about the size and the substance of who's in your audience and how it correlates to getting more sales. The other thing you could also have a look at is your conversion rate. So out of how many people basically does it take in order for you to make a sale? So if we talked about the 100 people in your audience, for example, there could be 100 people in your audience, and for every 100 you could make maybe 5 sales, depending what it is that you do, or it could be 20, or it could be 50 sales. So once you do figure out what that specific metric is in order to go from audience number to sale, you'll be able to, I guess, set some targets in terms of how many people do you want to grow your audience to, because you'll be able to map out how many sales that does lead for you. So it could be, if it was like a ratio of 100 to 5, for every 100 people that you bring into your audience, you'll get 5 sales from it. So you'll be able to basically map out some strategy to say, okay, we need to grow our audience by 100 people every month because we want to get 5 sales per month. And then think about, okay, how can I grow my audience by 100 people each and every month? And so it's a few of those things we talked about. It's looking at what has worked previously, what is your ideal client currently doing, where they're hanging out, and then showing them the right type of content so that they will start to follow you. So I hope that's definitely helped you today. If you have any questions at all, do let me know and I'll do my best to help you. But biggest takeaway for today is I hope you realize that the size and the substance of your audience does matter, and we do need to pay a lot of attention to growing that if we do want to grow our business. So that's all from me today. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll chat to you soon.